the layout points for this video. Can we increase our mental and physical capacity in this life? More confidence, better access to good feeling thoughts and emotions. Next, do you sometimes have these little feel-good moments of possibilities for your life, but they're fleeting and not consistent? Why is that? Then, I'd like to tell you a story. I was in my 20s, hanging out with my buddies, got stoned, and took off running down the beach. I was in pursuit of becoming a warrior, pushing myself, and I ran into something powerful that brought me down to my knees with feelings of joy and love. And I swear, it felt like I got touched by God in that moment. And finally, I will be sharing with you the carnivore diet. What kind of progress am I making? So let's go. So ladies and gentlemen, how do we increase our overall mental and physical capacity? That is the question, as well as the answers that I've been searching for what feels like my whole life. I feel like every human being will experience themselves in a higher state of connection. What can be so frustrating about entering those states of consciousness, the zone, feeling like you're in the flow, is not having access for long periods of time and then feeling like those connections are withering away. The last couple of years have been extremely difficult for me. If you watched my last YouTube video on the buildup of coming into contact with Parkinson's disease, you'll understand more. As hard as this journey's been, it's not over until it's over. Meaning the miracle of life is still here. It's still in me. It's still in you. But how do we get access to these higher states of confidence, of feeling connected? Well, I've tried so many things. Tons of supplements, meditation for hours upon hours upon hours, affirmation techniques, having the feeling, the idea that we're on some sort of a pilgrimage to uncover hidden secrets within the mind and the body and the universe itself, feeling certain feel-good thoughts and emotions, and then feeling the exact opposite of that. We just need to put one foot in front of the other, trust in something bigger, and that, I feel, can be the trickiest thing. When I experienced insomnia for 7 months, I was losing it, completely losing it, but yet I'm the same individual who's felt joy and connection. Why are these moments fleeting? Why can't we just grab onto them? It blows my mind how vast and intelligent this space is that we're living in. Not just our bodies, all the functionings that are going on within this, but the universe, the solar system, smartphones, the internet. It's crazy. The human being is juggling so many different things. Equilibrium, all these thoughts, emotions, all these variables. There are so many beautiful teachings out there telling us that we should not judge ourselves harshly, judge others harshly. To sum this portion of the video up, I think what we need to do psychologically when we meet resistance or too many questions of this or that, it's a game of surrender. Give ourselves enough space to see if inspiration will organically arise again. So now let's get into some storytelling. I was 20-something years old. I was really into smoking pot at the time. There were several friends of mine that would get together and smoke after work. And this one night, I had a couple of my buddies over and we decided to make a gravity bong. And just to back up a second, give you some insight of what kind of stoner I was. When I got stoned, I loved to work out and I would get fired up. And some of my buddies thought it was cool and some of them were probably put off by it. But the ones that thought that it was cool would always work out with me. So for example, say we got stoned, I'd be like, oh man, I'm feeling into my body, stretching, and it feels good. We can't just waste this feeling, you know? And so that night with the gravity bong hit, we got stoned. I put on some music and I started dancing, just freestyle dancing. And I told my buddies, I'm hitting a new level right now. And I think it was close to 11 o'clock at night. And they were so stoned. They're like, dude, you're on your own on this one. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna go for a run on the beach. So I went down to the beach and it was low tide. And if you've seen the water at night on low tide, there's just a tiny bit of water on the sand before it hits the drop off where it starts getting deep. And so you have plenty of room to run. So I started running and I was fired up. I'm like, I'm gonna hit this new level. I probably only ran 3/4 of a mile, but as fast as I could. And that's a long ways when you're sprinting. And when I came to a stop, I was huffing and puffing so hard, just breathing so hard. And I was all fired up and I'm all, dude, I just ran faster than I've ever ran in my whole life, is what I thought. And then my mind, I started realizing, oh my gosh, like I'm breathing hard and I couldn't catch my breath. I had a panic attack. And I'm like, oh gosh, I can't catch my breath. And I was struggling and I was coughing and I was choking on my own saliva at that point. And I'm really going, oh my gosh, something serious is happening right now. And I grab my chest and I pull myself and I reach out for God and I go, God, help me, please. And I said, help me. And I'm telling you, this lightning bolt of love erupted in my body. Just, I'm like, oh my God. I started crying. I got down to my knees, just praising this feeling of connection with God. And that lasted for about a minute. And it was just, it was so powerful and blissful. And then the mind, the ego got in there. I realized, okay, Dylan, you're running. Now it's about midnight. You've been running on the beach. You're all fired up thinking you're a warrior hitting this new level of strength. And then you start freaking out thinking you're dying. And then you're getting touched by God. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? In that moment, I was convinced that I got touched by God. I was like, I've never felt anything like that before. But it scared the heck out of me at the same time. Because like, who gets touched by God these days? The last video I put out of my story, I shared that I came into contact with anxiety, panic attacks, and this was the moment. And like I shared in the previous video, it was a blessing in disguise for the most part because I found music through all that. I left feeling perplexed that night, and for years later thinking, was it because I was stoned that happened? So about 20 years later, I'm at a workshop in Cancun for Dr. Joe Dispenza. It was a meditation workshop. I'll share the story in more detail on a future video. So long story short, I'm in Cancun meditating. Everyone's there trying to heal from something. So the vibration is potent and I got zapped by that love once again. And it was the same feeling as when I was totally stoned out of my mind, but I was dead sober. And same reaction, just praising God at that moment, just thanking the heavens for this feeling. And I came back from the workshop trying to rekindle that feeling. How did I come into contact with that? Because if we had access to that feeling every day as human beings, this world would be completely different. We would be all loving each other and loving ourselves on the daily. We'd have bliss at our fingertips every day for when things got stressful. We just tap in and boom. I can honestly say I probably wouldn't be doing this video right now if I hadn't started the carnivore diet. What the carnivore diet has done for me so far, it's been 45 days that I've been on this diet, and it has kind of like cleaned the gears of my mind. I was so negative and had so much depression going on from the lack of sleep and the Parkinson's and everything, that it was just like sifting through clouds every day. I couldn't find any positivity or any motivation. I mean, I have a willpower like you wouldn't believe. So I would make myself work out or go do things and this and that. But I was always surrounded by a freaking cloud. And what hasn't left me yet is my body still hurts. I still have a tremor in my body continuously, especially as soon as I stop and sit down. Like when I stand up, it's not as bad when I'm moving around, but as soon as I sit down and start to relax, this irritating tremor is just vibrating through my head, through my chest, through my arms, and through my legs at all times, which is the Parkinson stuff. And my joints just ache like crazy. My back hurts, my hips hurt, my neck hurts. It's like, I'm not complaining, I'm just telling you how it is because I want to share honest to God, truthful results that I'm getting from whatever I'm doing, so I can be a benefit to whoever's seeing these videos out there that's in a similar predicament. But what I can say, I'm already experiencing some more positive flow up here, which is huge. So I'm continuing on, and I will continue to update y'all. I'm very excited to have started this YouTube channel because it helps me out to share my story. It really does. I had all this pent up life experience that I've been wanting to share when the time was right, and the time feels right for me. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Dancing around, that's what we do. Dancing around, 'cause I love you. We dance around in any town we enter. Winter weather, even better. Bundle up your body, baby, head to your toes. Elevate, escalate. Create the mind you wish to see. It's free. Create the mind you wish to see. It's free. Don't you wonder why you're here? Do you wish to know? It's gonna get rough and rowdy till you do what you came to do. Why are you here? To spread love, 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 light. Why are you here? To make everything right. I am a singer of this vibration. I am a player under God's creation. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am.